Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video I am going to be giving you a preview for the Club Brugge Manchester United game on Thursday in the first leg of the Europa League knockout stages at the Jan Bredel Stadium. Now of course on this video also I am going to be giving you some team news building up to the game. And of course, I'm also going to give you my starting 11 prediction. But, I will delve into that a bit later on in the video. Now, of course, Manchester United, progressed into knockout stages of the Europa League, comfortably, by winning Group L. But, we should, beat Club Brugge over the two legs. Like I said, it's on Thursday. I think it's 10 to 6, or is it 5 to 6 kickoff in the UK? Is this current game? But, we should win this game. Obviously, we did play, the last time we played Club Brugge was back in the 2015-16 season. I think, we did beat them in the first leg, was it 3-1 at Old Trafford? And we beat them in the second leg 4-0, of course, at their stadium. So overall, it ended like 7-1 on aggregate. I think in one of the games, Wayne Rooney had scored a hat-trick in one of the games against Club Brugge. And also, Club Brugge are now sitting top of, the Belgian league. So looking like, they are going to win it this season. Last season, they did finish second, behind Genk, Club Brugge. They finished second. Club Brugge are winless in their last 10 games against, Premier League opposition. So they have got a bad record against Premier League opposition of Club Brugge and that. But, the Europa League is a priority for Manchester United. It's definitely a priority because, looking at it, it's another route to Champions League football. And it's also, a chance of us, a chance of Manchester United getting some silverware on the board, because we have lacked silverware in the last 6 or 7 years. But, in this game against Club Brugge, Solskjaer, will make changes, from the 2-0 win against Chelsea yesterday night. And the Europa League is also, a chance for us, to give the youngsters, their opportunities. And I think in this game against Club Brugge, I think Solskjaer's probably going to give Diego a lot of chance. Because, Diego Dalot's appearances have been limited this season, reflecting on the injuries he's had. I think he has played some parts of the second half of the season, though. But I think Dalot will play in this game against Brugge. And I think actually, Wan-Bissaka will be dropped. He'll be rested for the game on Saturday or Sunday against Watford. I also think maybe, Gomez could play because I think, the vast majority of Gomez and the vast majority of Angel Gomez's appearances, come in the Europa League. Maybe Chon, could be involved. Maybe even James Garner could be involved. I think he played a couple of times in the group stage games. Brandon Williams, I think he'll keep his place in the team. So yeah, I think, quite a few of the youngsters, will get given their opportunities. Definitely Mason Greenwood. I think he'll start in this game against Club Brugge because he tends to play, from the start in the Europa League games and all the cup games. But in the Premier League, he doesn't really get enough starts. So that's definitely, questionable in that. But, hopefully, we can beat Club Brugge because I think, like Man United are emerged as the second favourites, to actually, win the Europa League. We've won the Europa League before. We won it back under the Jose Mourinho era back in 2017. We did beat Ajax in the final by 2-0. This is, what we currently did. But, you saw my match reaction for the Chelsea-Man United game yesterday. Man United, did win by 2-0. Very, very good victory. That, reflecting on that win against Chelsea, that keeps our top 4 ambitions alive because we are now only 3 points behind top 4. And, we're currently now sitting 7th in the Premier League. We're sitting 7th in the Premier League and we're only 3 points behind top 4. If we'd have lost that game yesterday night, I'd have fully disregarded the top 4 because if Chelsea had won, obviously, would have been 9 points behind. And that was our first win at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League since 2012, and that is like 8 years ago now. And the first time we've done the double over Chelsea in the Premier League era. Of course, Solskjaer did make some changes from the 0-0 draw against Wolves before the winter break, and it was a game we needed to win because prior to the Chelsea game, we were winless in our last 3 games. But, on the other hand, we've kept four clean sheets in our last 4 games. So that's a very, very good sign and that. But, Solskjaer went with 3 at the back against Chelsea yesterday night. And I think he's going to do the same against Club Brugge. I think he's going to go with 3 at the back. Because, like I've said to you, I think we look much better, with 3 at the back. We look more expansive with that 3-5-2 formation. And I thought Solskjaer would have gone with that 4-2-3-1 formation yesterday, because that's the formation he has been going with on a regular basis this season. But like I've said, a hell of a lot of times, that formation doesn't suit our standards. That 4-2-3-1 formation and that. But we do look much better, with 3 at the back. Obviously, yesterday night, the goals obviously, came from Anthony Martial. He scored the first goal just before half-time. And Wan-Bissaka had got the assist. Martial, of course, was playing in that number 9 role. Wasn't so good. He wasn't the worst player, but, I don't think he was brilliant. But it was good to see him get his name on the score sheet. Martial has got a good goal-scoring record against Chelsea recently. Scored against them twice last season in the 2-2 draw. Scored against them last night. Scored against them on the 4-0 victory on the opening day of the Premier League season. So that was very, very good. And the second one, of course, was from Harry Maguire. That's his first goal for Manchester United, by the way, in the Premier League. His second goal in all competitions. And I thought Maguire looked very, very disciplined at the back yesterday. It was a good header. Fernandes has got the assist. Fernandes was also looking up to score because he hit the post. There was talk saying that Harry Maguire should have been sent off. Obviously, because he did kick Batshuayi, so that was very, very controversial, and that a lot of people was talking about that after the game. And, and it wasn't the best of performances by Man United, but I thought the game in general, lacked quality. Obviously, Chelsea came at us in the first half. I think Chelsea had around 7 opportunities in the first half. Batshuayi had around 3 chances, but Chelsea failed to register a single shot on target, in that first half. And that, Chelsea were forced into 2 changes. Kante had to come off because he came off injured. He was replaced by Mason Mount. And obviously, Christian was also forced off, and, he was replaced by Zuma. So Chelsea were forced into 2 changes and that. Also, Chelsea had 2 disallowed goals, one from Zuma and one from Giroud. So that was also very controversial in that. But from my own perception, I thought, they were the correct decisions. The referee, I think, got it spot on and that. But, yeah, so it was a... What? All right. But I've got to say, it was a very, very good result for Manchester United and that. And, to be fair, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in, his record against Chelsea has been absolutely sensational. He's beaten Chelsea now 4 times, is it in total? 4 times in total, beaten Frank Lampard 3 times as a manager. So we actually haven't lost to Chelsea, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, got recommended in. But I thought yesterday night, Bay did really, really well. It was good to see Eric Bay, get back into the team. After, he, was out with injury for a while and that. But, Bay did really, really well. And I think Solskjaer credited Bay, for his really, really good performance that he did put out, But, yeah, I was very, very delighted with him. Like I said, Maguire and, Shaw and that, did well at the back. I do think, Solskjaer, made a couple of mistakes yesterday. And I think the couple of mistakes he did make was putting Luke Shaw at centre-half, because Luke Shaw's not predominantly a centre-half. I think, he shouldn't have put Martial in that number 9 role. There was also a lot of fans infuriated why Odi Nagalo didn't start. But he did come on towards the end. But he didn't start the game, Odi Nagalo, so that's also, what did infuriate a lot of Man United fans. But he could have scored on his debut, Odi Nagalo. He was very, very close to scoring, right at the end was Igalo and that. But yeah, I'm glad, Manchester United got the win. Does keep our top 4 ambitions alive. But hopefully now we can build some momentum and we can go on a good winning run. We've got to now go on a good winning run. And now Manchester United, of course, have got games coming up thick and fast. Obviously, Brugge on Thursday, Watford, I think, on Saturday or Sunday. Club Brugge in the second leg. Everton's also coming up at the beginning of next month. Going to be another tough game. City in the derby on the 8th of March. That's a couple of weeks away. that's a couple of weeks away, you know, the game against Manchester City and that. But yeah. But I'm very, very convinced, you know, that Manchester United, you know, can win this game against Club Brugge. You know, I think we're going to have too much for them. So yeah, so now let's get into a bit of team news now. We'll start with Scott McTominay. So the news regarding McTominay is he is stepping up his fitness regime. He is stepping up his fitness regime as Scott McTominay. And he has been out of an injury, as McTominay, but, you know, when he does get back into the team, Scott McTominay, you know, we will look much better, you know, when he does get back into the team and that, because he has been a big miss in that midfield as Scott McTominay. Don't forget he was part of the warm weather training camp in Spain, Marbella. So, yeah, I think there's like a 20% chance he could be involved in this game against Brugge, but I'm very, very sceptical about it, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'm very, very sceptical about it, you know. I think this game against Brugge is going to come too soon for Scott McTominay. It's going to come too soon for him. You know, probably will be back for the game against Watford on Saturday or Sunday. Also, too, Foster Mensah, you know, he's also stepped up his fitness regime and that, but I don't think he'll be available. There's a slight chance that Tuanzebe could be available for this game, so he may get some minutes under his belt and that he's also stepping up his fitness regime. Of course, we know that Diego Dalot's now back. You know, also too, we know that Rashford's definitely not going to be playing because Rashford is out for at least the next couple of months with a back injury. Rashford, like I mentioned, Rashford has been one of our best players this season. You know, he scored, 63 senior goals for the club since he broke into the senior squad back in 2016. And just over 200 appearances for Man United and that. But he is a big miss, Rashford. He's been one of our best players this season, but it's a good job we got Odi Nagalo in because Odi Nagalo is a good cover-up to Marcus Rashford, to be fair. And I think Odi Nagalo could also start against Club Brugge on Thursday. You know, I've obviously, you know, given you the news today regarding Paul Pogba. Obviously, we definitely know that he's not going to be playing, you know, against Club Brugge and that, you know. I've been giving you the news, you know, with the ongoing situation regarding his agent Mini Raiola and that because his agent Mini Raiola has come out and criticised, you know, Solskjaer's also come out and, you know, criticised the club. As you know, Mini Raiola, you know, he's come out saying like, you know, Paul Pogba is not Solskjaer's property. He's not Solskjaer's property. You know, Solskjaer has reacted to this and according to him, you know, according to Solskjaer, you know, he has not spoke, you know, to Mini Raiola. He just basically said, you know, Paul Pogba's ours and not, you know, Mini Raiola's. And Mini Raiola was also mentioning something to do with, you know, Pogba being a prisoner with Solskjaer or something like that. You know, but a lot of United fans have been infuriated, you know, with some of the stuff that, you know, his agent Mini Raiola has come out and said. He also did say it's likely that Paul Pogba will leave the club in the summer if Manchester United fail to qualify for the Champions League. And he also said he didn't come to Man United to not challenge and not win titles. You know, this is what his agent Mini Raiola has said. Of course, Solskjaer's revealed he may not ever play for the club again, but if he does, the earliest we are looking at him being back is for the game against Manchester City. But he is stepping up his fitness regime. Pogba, I think, has had 2 surgeries on his ankle. You know, the one he had, well, I think the previous one was last month, but he has been stepping up his recovery from injury. But Pogba, you know, anywhere he's leaving the football club in the summer. He hasn't played since Boxing Day like McTominay. He hasn't started a game from the start since September, and he's only played 8 games this season for Manchester United as Paul Pogba. So his appearances have been limited, you know, due to his injuries. His appearances have been limited. You know, he's leaving in the summer because he's already told his Man United teammates he's leaving in the summer. More than likely, he will be making a return back to Turin, you know, because Pogba did endure 4 good years in Turin, you know, before, but the vast majority of his performances at Man United since he rejoined the club back in 2016 have been totally comparison, you know. So a lot of United fans have got different perceptions on it. Some United fans would get rid of Paul Pogba, and some United fans, you know, would be determined to keep Paul Pogba. But if we can get Maddison and Grealish in the summer, you know, we can get rid of Paul Pogba. You know, I think us getting rid of Pogba in the summer, you know, will generate a substantial amount, And also, it will free up our wage bill a little bit because Pogba is one of the highest paid players at the club. I think we've quoted out that we want around 130 million in the summer. So obviously we want to get more money than what we paid for Paul Pogba, because we paid 89 million pounds for him. Juventus come out and said, they was planning a 125 million package deal, meaning, they was also willing to include Aaron Ramsey or Adrian Rabiot as part of the deal. So more than likely he will be going to Juventus. Pogba now is heading into the final year of his contract. Man United, of course, do have the option to extend it by a further year. And all of that. We do have an option to extend it by a further year, but we're not going to extend it for a further year. Pogba, of course, last summer was relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid, but his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise last summer, reflecting on the substantial amount we put on him, because we wanted a good £160 million for the player last summer, but Pogba did reveal last summer that he did want to leave the football club. Solskjaer still knows deep down how much of an imperative player he is. He's a very imperative player, he's Paul Pogba, but, I think it's beneficial if we do get rid of him because he doesn't want to be at the football club. Solskjaer knows him well anyway because he managed him, he managed Pogba, when he was younger and when Solskjaer was managing the Man United reserve team. We shouldn't have got rid of Paul Pogba when he was younger, when we had Ferguson. That's one mistake Manchester United did currently make, and he is now into his 4th season at the football club. So he's going to play no part of the game against Club Brugge, is it Paul Pogba? So revert back to what I said, Solskjaer's going to make changes from the 2-0 win against Chelsea. Obviously, he's going to rest some key players, obviously, for the game against Watford on Saturday or Sunday. But the Europa League is a chance, for the young players, like I mentioned, and Solskjaer's got a lot of trustworthy in his young players. So now we will delve into the starting 11 prediction for this game. So I think Solskjaer's going to stick with 3 at the back, but 3 at the back because, we do look much better, with 3 at the back, to be honest with you. So I think he's going to go with Sergio Romario in goal because, Sergio Romario does tend to start, the cup games and that because, he's our second choice goalkeeper. Obviously, David De Gea is our first choice goalkeeper. And he's been our number 1, for quite some time as David De Gea, But obviously he's been a liability now for at least the last year and a half or so. So if Dean Henderson, is to come back on loan from Sheffield United, then maybe Dean Henderson will be our number 1 goalkeeper. But David De Gea has been a long servant here. He's made 301 appearances in the Premier League. He's now into his 9th season at the club. He's enjoyed 8 years here. But, he's had a good 6.5 years out of the 8 years or so he's been at Man United, David De Gea and that. But yeah, I've been very, very impressed with him. But yeah, so Romario in goal for this game against Club Brugge. The 3 at the back, I think Lindelof, of course, is going to return. Lindelof, of course, missed the game against Chelsea yesterday through illness. So Lindelof will play alongside Bain and Harry Maguire. That's what I do think. Maybe Tuanzebe could play there. Maybe even Jones could get given an opportunity because don't forget, we have got a lot of centre-halves in the team. But I think the 3 at the back will be Bay, Maguire and Lindelof. I think Bay will get another chance because, Bay, did really, really well against Chelsea. That was his first appearance in the Premier League since April of last year. I think the wing-backs, right wing-back Diego Dalot, Diego Dalot will be at right wing-back, and Wan-Bissaka will be rested. I think at left wing-back we will go with Brandon Williams. I also think Luke Shaw will be rested. Luke Shaw, like I mentioned, shouldn't have been playing at centre-half yesterday because that's not his predominant position. Brandon Williams is a better solution than Luke Shaw, in my opinion. Luke Shaw's more experienced because Brandon Williams is in his first season in the senior squad. But I still think, Brandon Williams is a better solution than him. In the midfield, probably he's going to go with Fred and Matic in that midfield. Matic wasn't so bad against Chelsea yesterday. He had quite a lot of touches in that first half. But on the other hand, I've still got a lot of element of concerns about him. Matic has just come back from suspension, by the way. Fred has also recently rejuvenated himself, to be fair. Fred's also, rejuvenated himself. I think in the number 10, will he go with Bruno Fernandes? If he does, it will be Bruno Fernandes' third appearance for the club. But maybe he won't start Bruno Fernandes. I think he's had 2 good games for us so far. He did well against Chelsea yesterday. Did well on his debut against Wolves. And yeah, so maybe he'll be rested and maybe, we'll put Pereira in that number 10 against Brugge. Maybe we'll put Juan Mata in that number 10. Actually, I'm going to say Juan Mata in that number 10 because he tends to get his opportunities in like the Europa League games. And up front, I am going to go with Odi Nagalo and Mason Greenwood. So that's my predicted 11. We'll go through it again. I'm going to go with Sergio Romero, Maguire, Bailey, Lindelof, wing back, Dalot at right wing back, Brandon Williams at left wing back, the midfield, Fred Matic, number 10, Mon Mata, and up top, Odi Nagalo and Mason Greenwood. And that, I might be wrong about the lineup, that's just me, currently predicting on that. That's just me giving you my starting 11 prediction for the game. But yeah, like I mentioned, the Europa League is definitely a priority for Manchester United, definitely. My perception on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I still don't think is a long-term solution for the football club because, like I mentioned, seeing a good couple of results or one good result doesn't change my perception regarding Solskjaer. I still don't feel as though he's a long-term solution for Manchester United. Now, obviously, Solskjaer has been at Manchester United now for 14 months, so he has been here over a year. He has got many expectations to exceed at the club, but I just think from my own perception, the expectations are too high for him at Manchester United. Now, I think the only way Man United will give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer another season is if, we can dramatically improve from now to the end of the season. And of course, if we can get European football secured for next season. So if, say, we can finish within the top 6 this season and we can get European football, then I think, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer may be given another season at Manchester United. But prior to that, I don't think, we will, to be quite honest with you. But we are now currently, sitting 7th in the Premier League. 5th spot now anywhere is a Champions League spot, reflecting on Man City's ban from the Champions League for the next 2 seasons. And I definitely, think Manchester United can get 5th in the Premier League. I was right there. I definitely think Manchester United, can, get 5th, 5th in the Premier League and that. But, this is, there's quite a few teams, in that current top 4 race and that. But Solskjaer, still believes from his own perception, we can attract players to the elite level, even if we don't get any, Champions League, football or secure any European football. But obviously, if we can, get obviously European football, then obviously we've got much better chance of getting the players that we do want in to Manchester United and that. So obviously take that into account. But yeah, so like I said, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is to be sacked as Manchester United manager anyway, he will be our 4th permanent manager, to be sacked since the Alex Ferguson era. And, everyone talks about, us not being a sacking club, and Man United are not known for a sacking club, despite the fact we have sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era. Obviously, we sacked David Moyes after 10 months, was it? Something like that. We sacked Louis van Gaal, despite the fact he won the FA Cup, and we sacked Jose Mourinho after he endured 2.5 years at Manchester United. So Solskjaer now is our 4th permanent manager. Of course, Solskjaer still got 2.5 years left on his deal at Manchester United, and that very sceptical that he will see out the remainder of his 2.5 year deal at the club. I think in the first place, Solskjaer was very, very lucky to get the job as the interim manager. He did really, really well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager, and this is the main explanation, why he'd got the job on a permanent basis, but really shouldn't have given Solskjaer the job on a permanent basis and that. Solskjaer so far has enjoyed 3 transfer windows at Manchester United, and he has recommended 5 new players in and spent around £220 million, and obviously, Solskjaer is obviously, making plans for the summer. Obviously, he wants to make further more investment in the squad. And maybe the club are determined, to give maybe Solskjaer another season. Maybe willing to give him another couple of transfer windows at least, to see who else he can recommend into the football club. But, we've got to address the deficiencies in the squad in the summer, because there's still deficiencies in the squad in the summer that do need to be addressed. Of course, we need a couple of midfielders. We probably need at least one forward. We need a right winger. We need a left back. We need a centre half. And we can use Lindelof as a backup and that. So I think Man United will spend a substantial amount in the summer. I was reading reports saying that Solskjaer's going to get around £274 million to spend on, bringing more additions in. But, you know, Man United are one of the biggest clubs in the world. We are the most successful team in England, historically, reflecting on the titles we've won. You know, we are also one of the richest clubs in the world. We've got a fantastic fan base and that. So, yeah, and, you know, we can afford, you know, to get, you know, the players, you know, that we do want indefinitely. Obviously, on the other hand, a lot of players have left since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival. So, you know, we've generated some money for their departures. Obviously, more players are expected to leave in the summer. So we're going to generate some money, you know, for their departures. So take that into account and that. Obviously, you know, we've got quite a lot of players on our agenda. You know, there's talks of Grealish, Maddison coming in the summer. You know, I would be excited about the prospect of them playing alongside Fernandes in our midfield. Definitely. You know, there's talks of Sancho coming in. If we was to get them free in the summer, that'd probably cost us around £280 million for, you know, them free current players and that. But we'll see, you know, how we can do in the summer transfer window. Of course, Ed Woodward is determined to back Solskjaer because obviously, you know, Ed Woodward, you know, don't forget, recently wrote a fans forum and, you know, he's going to back Solskjaer more transfers in the summer and that. You know, so this is what Ed Woodward had come out and revealed. But like I've mentioned to you guys, you know, there's not only problems with the management of the club, there's various issues at the club that do need to be addressed, you know, problems with the management, problems, you know, with the board, problems with the Ed Woodward, problems with the club's ownership, because the Glazers have been generating money out of this club for several years. So we need to see a variety of changes at the football club. You know, we don't only need to see a change of management at Manchester United. So I just wanted to, you know, to currently say that, you know, to you guys and that. But yeah, definitely, you know, more players do need to leave Manchester United. And like I mentioned, a lot of money's been spent at Man United in the last 6 or 7 years. I think nearly £1 billion been spent at the club. You know, 67 million under Moyes. He brought the likes of Fellaini and Juan Mata in. You know, 250 odd million under Van Gaal. He brought the likes of Falcao, Di Maria, Schneiderlin, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Memphis Depay, Blind, all of them players he brought in, and obviously he let some players go, but there's still some players here from the Van Gaal era. And under Mourinho, you know, he spent, 400 million on 11 players. You know, the vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho, so take that into account. And, you know, we've also got the highest wage bill in the Premier League and that. And we're not in that commanding position that we should be in. You know, we're not in that commanding position, you know, that we should be. You know, reflecting on, you know, the money that's being spent in this club, into this club, we should be in Liverpool's position, but unfortunately we're not. And like I said to you before, you know, we've got some good players in our team. A lot of our players are better than a lot of teams' players in the league, but they're just not gelling and not playing as a unit. And, you know, that is the element of concern, definitely. But the reason I don't think Solskjaer's the right manager for Manchester United is because he's too inexperienced as a manager. You know, he's too inexperienced as a manager. He's been tactically naive for the vast majority of this season. Some of his decisions are questionable. He does make the wrong decisions sometimes, like I've mentioned. But, you know, I'm hopeful that, you know, it works out for Solskjaer, but I'm just very, very sceptical, you know, that it will. Like I said, he was a great player for Manchester United for 11 years. He flourished under Ferguson's guidance, but I think as a manager, he's just totally comparison, definitely, in that, you know. And even if we did get rid of Solskjaer, and I don't think we're going to get Pochettino in now anywhere because, you know, with City's ban, you know, City want to obviously, you know, get Pochettino in because it's likely Guardiola will leave in the summer. So maybe now we'll get Massimiliano Allegri at the end of the season. That's if Manchester United do decide to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But not every manager settles in straight away, you know. Look, Solskjaer has been here over the years. Some people say he's had long enough. Klopp, you know, didn't settle in straight away. It took him a long time, you know, to get him to how as good as he is now with Liverpool. You know, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years when we recommended him in. But it was unbelievable what he went and accomplished, Alex Ferguson, you know, after, you know, that 4 years of not winning anything and that. And I don't think anyone will invoke Ferguson's legacy, you know, I really, really don't at the football club. You know, to be honest with you, I think Man United also made a mistake last summer by not recommending a director of footballing. Because if we'd have got that director of footballing, then, you know, Ed Woodward could have moved away from the footballing decisions and that. So, yeah. So, that's mainly everything to update you with today, guys. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.